Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to say thanks once again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. That's right, Squarespace, the best way to make your own website to help launch that new business you've always wanted, or just show off what you're into. If you're someone who's into photography, blogging, cooking, or maybe you want to talk about weird movies like me, it doesn't really matter. You can build a website with Squarespace's easy-to-use design tools. They have a ton of different templates available, and they even let you sort by what you do. Whether it's something artistic or related to sales, Squarespace has you covered. They also have a ton of other helpful features like site analytics, password-protected members-only pages, and finance and marketing tools. So if you're interested in joining the thousands of other people who've used Squarespace to make their dreams a reality, just go to squarespace.com/BrandonTenold and sign up for your free trial. Then when your site's looking good and ready for launch, use the promo code BrandonTenold for 10% off your first purchase. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so after that last movie I did, which was basically Evil Dead on a boat, so Evil Dead calm, I guess, this episode I'm gonna do something a little less bonkers. It's set in a completely ordinary world where everyone knows Kung Fu and massive gun battles can break out at any minute. Trust me, that's ordinary compared to last episode. So I've talked about Hong Kong action movies before on this channel, but this one is a bit of a first since it falls under what's known as the girls with guns subgenre, which features, you guessed it, women engaging in gunplay and shootouts. One of the most famous examples of this subgenre is the 1985 movie Yes, Madam, which featured Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock as ass-kicking policewomen. That movie inspired a ton of other girls with guns flicks, including this one, Iron Angels, although like a lot of 80s Hong Kong flicks, you might have seen it called something else. Alternate titles include Midnight Angels, Fighting Madam, Police Madam, and Angels, although my copy is just Angel singular. Well, Iron Angels is the name I like the best, so I'll just go with that one. That way I can show this cover, which seems to be for a completely different movie. Anyway, the real movie begins on an opium poppy field in Thailand.
Hey, anything going on over there? Nothing.
Yeah, just another boring day farming drugs. It's a bit like a day at the office, except with more guns. And speaking of guns... So that's how the movie opens, like a Nam movie if both sides were Asian. These are some Interpol cops trying to destroy the opium field. Don't you just hate it when the government butts in on some hardworking people just trying to earn a living? I gotta admit though, those yellow neckerchiefs they're wearing kinda make them look like badass Boy Scouts. Time to earn my merit badge in pain. Congrats, fellas, you destroyed the drugs. Now to celebrate, let's all get fucked up. Well, these guys seem to be having a good time, but the criminal organization responsible for distributing the drugs is not too happy about seeing their product go up in flamethrower smoke.
How much did we lose?
About 60% of the crop.
Damn, that was enough heroin to supply Keith Richards for over a year.
We're gonna have to take revenge.
Yeah, and they're gonna do it in the most Asian action movie way possible, by bitch-slapping people with motorcycles. Oh, and they're also carrying samurai swords, which means I get to do this. Alright, as awesome as that would be, I should mention the actual music in the movie. It kinda sounds like it was imported from a Super Nintendo game. I keep half expecting to see the Konami logo pop up.
Well, that's enough now. Interpol is bound to come down on us.
Yeah, you can only skewer people with samurai swords on motorcycles so many times before it starts to attract attention. However, this woman wants the revenge killings to continue and does not like it when people disagree with her.
Well, the way
Yeah, screw brass knuckles, she's got some big knuckles. This is Madam Young, and if you hadn't guessed already, she's a little crazy. She does have some pretty good moves, though. Things are getting so desperate, the Hong Kong police have to rely on some outside help.
You're Commander Fung from the Drug Enforcement Agency. And you were top of your class at the academy.
That's right, it was his idea to put those messages on arcade machines. Fong says they should hire a private company that employs special agents called Angels, and you can tell this company is high-tech because they have a video phone, and it only weighs 60 pounds and costs $500 a minute. So as you may have guessed from both the title and premise, this movie is partially inspired by the show Charlie's Angels, which I guess would make this guy Charlie, except he's Asian. So Charlie Chan, I guess? And just how good are the angels he assembles?
Hey, you got some tip eggs?
They even make mundane office work look like a kung fu movie. Alright, there is a bit of a difference from Charlie's Angels here. One of the angels is a guy, a martial arts master from Japan named Saijo. The other angels are Moon, who's the office worker we saw earlier, and Elaine, who has the power of big 80s hair. Alright, now that they got the team assembled, time to start kicking some crime syndicate ass. Or they could go to a nightclub and watch Elaine sing, I guess.
Huh, she's not too bad.
I think I know of a way to make her sound better.
She's great.
Alright, actually there is a reason why they're here, since the villains also frequent this club. So hopefully that means we'll get an awesome nightclub fight scene. But I guess a let's get physical montage will do instead. And about the music during this part. It sounds like a Sega Genesis after too much Taco Bell. Things do pick up a bit when Saijo spots a syndicate member accessing some files at the police station.
Who's paying you for this?
You'd better tell me.
Huh. I didn't count on him not answering. It's okay, though. The guy meets him at a junkyard. Make it quick, though, will ya? The Foot Clan needs to put Raphael in a net and lure the other turtles into a trap. You know what? Add an exaggerated bonk effect, and that could have been a gag in Secret of the Ooze. Saijo does learn that the Syndicate is using a corporation called the Dai Nippo Company as a front, after handcuffing this guy to a car and putting him in a crusher. Didn't Kick-Ass have a scene similar to this?
Alright, the Dai Nippo Company!
Okay, doesn't end the same way as in Kick-Ass. It should have, though. There we go, the Dai Nippo Company. That's Japanese for big nipple. And since I already mentioned the Ninja Turtles, I might as well bring up the music again. A lot of it really does sound like it's straight out of the Turtles in Time soundtrack. I gotta admit, a lot of the middle section of the movie where they're sneaking around doing espionage stuff kinda loses me. I guess they wanted to go with the whole Charlie's Angels theme and include some detective stuff instead of just making it a complete action fest. Considering that earlier in the movie we had people with samurai swords on motorcycles playing shish kebab, stuff like this just kinda slows the movie down. Anyway, what are the villains doing? Damn, Hong Kong BDSM clubs are hardcore. Meanwhile, Saijo and Moon scope out a spot where the Syndicate is supposed to be getting a delivery. And if anyone gets suspicious, just pretend you're at Makeout Point. Okay, I guess those two are in love now. They suspect the Syndicate is getting a shipment of drugs, but they'll need evidence. So to get it, they take the subtle approach by having Saijo choke a guy out in front of people while Moon recklessly drives a car through the rest of them. And just wait till you see what their escape plan is. Good news, you got the drugs. Bad news, they're probably both dead now. Just kidding, they're fine. Which is a hell of a lot more than I can say for the crime boss. So, okay, I guess Madam Young's in charge now. Well, she does have better moves than Wheelchair Guy, so I guess she deserves it. She is a little upset that the Angels took her drugs, though.
Any idea how much this is worth?
About 30 million.
Okay, screw whatever the DEA's paying us. Let's just sell this ourselves and keep the money.
Wow, so we're finally rich!
See, Elaine's on board with that idea. Hang on, before that they gotta take a call from Commissioner Gordon.
What's that? Madame Young wants to meet us.
Tell her you're busy and that you definitely don't have her drugs? Or, fine, go meet her. I don't know why they couldn't have discussed this last night. They used their phones anyway, despite being about 50 feet away from each other. So they ask her to release the captured Interpol agents. She says no, they paid for more sessions and want to get their money's worth. Well, looks like the Angels have no choice. Time to tail Madame Young to her Tony Montana hideout and rescue the hostages themselves. And once again, instead of going in guns blazing, they decide to take the stealth approach and not attract any attention. Or at least they do until Elaine shows up. Wow, these guards sure are distracted pretty easily. They probably could have dressed a robot up like a sexy chick and it would have worked. Now that they're distracted, Saijo and Moon can rescue the prisoners. But not those two guys. Oh, and apparently Fong tagged along with Elaine in her trunk. Not sure why, that just means he ends up getting captured along with her when she gets found out.
She's not French.
What? Really? Next you're gonna tell me Fong's not really American. They can't just shoot him though, Madame Young's gotta challenge him to a martial arts duel. You know, it's a shame she's a bad guy. She could have made a good third female angel. Damn, how are they gonna get out of this? Okay, that works. Alright, Elaine got away, but Fong's still there. And by the looks of it, he paid for the deluxe package from Madame Young. What are they gonna do about him?
Don't you realize you might have killed him?
Okay, I'll go and save him.
That works too, I guess. And rescue him she does, because Elaine goes back dressed as the most badass house painter ever. See, now this is what I'm talking about. Some good old-fashioned, over-the-top Hong Kong action movie gunplay. About time we had some girls with guns in this Girls with Guns movie. The guy angel can join in too if he wants. The action here isn't quite up to the level of the best of the genre like Hard Boiled, but it is still an 80s Hong Kong action flick, which means it's still way better than most action movies. Man, why did they waste all that time sneaking around earlier? This is way more effective. They're mowing down drug dealers like they just sank $10 worth of quarters into a game of Narc. They should have just done this right from the beginning. This might have taken some inspiration from Charlie's Angels, but the main difference here is that these ladies actually kick ass, instead of just posing for posters that teenage boys in the 70s would put in their room to masturbate to at night. You know, I don't know what the crime stats in Hong Kong are like, but according to their movies, there's like 1 million giant gun battles a year. Oh hey Fong, we came to rescue you. Also, we killed most of the syndicates, so you can probably just deposit our payment into our accounts now. Hang on though, first I gotta give them a parting gift. Okay, they rescued Fong and killed most of the criminals, so, is the movie over now?
I'm afraid it's not that simple. Madame Young's still out there.
Oh yeah, but most of her men are dead and her place is destroyed. What is she gonna do? Oh wait, hang on, there's still half an hour left. I guess they gotta fill it with something. Maybe they can try blackmailing this guy into giving up some info about Madame Young by kidnapping his daughter.
Yeah?
Daddy, my new auntie took me to play at Chuck E. Cheese. Is that all right, Daddy?
Okay, apparently his daughter is a middle-aged British lady. Also, did they have Chuck E. Cheese in 1980s Hong Kong? And just because the Angels are holding this guy's daughter hostage doesn't mean they can't do a little sparring. Saijo could use the exercise. Alright, let's do a little role-playing. I'll be Suge Knight and you be Vanilla Ice. Turns out there's no need for that though, because this guy's sick of Madame Young shit too and gives up some info voluntarily.
Watch out for Young Lin. She's still planning something. All I know is, it's something to do with a code. And she has Japanese backers.
Of course, she got the Konami code. She's gonna give herself 30 lives. Alright, they got some vague info about a code, but how the hell are they gonna find out what it is? Or get to Madame Young?
I want to see Young Lin.
Alright, that was surprisingly easy. Okay, you found her, but good luck getting her to say what her plan is.
Tell me what the plan is.
Okay, if this also works, then I don't know how there's any crime in Hong Kong. Well, okay, they can't make it that easy. She does have to torture him a little bit first. She does end up telling him, though, and Fong transmits it back to the angels via Morse sneaker. Okay, let's see. The code is, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Son of a bitch. Alright, actually the code is 1987, which Saijo figures out is the year of the rabbit, which leads them to discover that Madam Young's gonna steal a shipment of gold and make toy rabbits out of it or something. I don't know. The point is, this leads to an action sequence where the bad guys hijack an armored car. I think you got him, fellas. This whole sequence has some decent action, but it's pretty anticlimactic after that assault in the villain's hideout to rescue Fong earlier. It really seems like that part should have been at the end. Instead, we get a part where the Syndicate buries the armored car in cement with Saijo inside, but he does some martial arts shit to slow his heart down so he can survive when the bad guys come to get the gold. Again, this is okay, but it's a real come down after that earlier action sequence. It's like if Hard Boiled put the hospital shootout in the middle of the movie. Oh, and I guess these two are friends now? Okay. Thankfully that's not the end, since we do get a scene where Moon and Elaine storm a warehouse where the gold rabbits are being made, and Moon shows off some pretty impressive baton skills. And Elaine brought some gadgets, including some exploding earrings. I do feel kinda sorry for her ass there, though. And this leads to the climactic fight scene where Moon and Elaine go 2-on-1 with Madam Young. Alright, the girls may not have guns this time, but I'll take girls with awesome choreographed fight moves. I still say the gun battle scene should have been at the end, though. Still, this is probably the second best action sequence here. You really gotta admire what Hong Kong action stars were willing to go through to make a movie. For a movie that doesn't take itself 100% seriously, this last fight gets pretty brutal. Alright, time to take care of this chick once and for all.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Oh, but Madam Young's not done yet. She comes back like Jason Voorhees in a bob cut. Hey, thanks for roughing her up there, girls. I still get all the credit for shooting her, though. Okay, the angels foiled Madam Young's plan and probably killed every cartel member in Hong Kong, so I think they earned whatever money Fong's paying them. And guess how the movie ends? With a slipping on a banana peel gag. Sure, why not? While exact box office numbers are a little hard to come by, Iron Angels was apparently successful enough to get 2 sequels, although just like the first one, they're also known by a bunch of alternate titles, so good luck finding them. I wouldn't put this among the best Hong Kong action flicks, but it's still above average. Like I said, some of the detective stuff in the middle kinda slows the movie down. I prefer when Hong Kong action flicks go full balls to the wall, but when it does get to the action parts, it delivers the goods. It's part of the girls with guns subgenre, and it does indeed have girls with guns, so no false advertising there. And speaking of ladies, next episode I'm going to be diving into another type of movie I've never done before, the lesbian vampire genre. Until next time.